Cast in more detail, but we will go directly into headlines in just a few seconds. They will include, per my calculations and those of local and state law enforcement that I spoke with and spent several hours on scene into the early morning hours this morning, the largest meth bust in Magoffin County history. And that, of course, for your news today as well. And it was a long night, and even longer, long for myself, longer for law enforcement. We'll have a couple of drug busts for you here as of late, and we'll talk about the chase that resulted in the largest last night. I've also got another drug-related story coming out of Moorhead. We're trying to trace down some details, but an investigation into a narcotic cough syrup ring that resulted in much more for authorities. And when you've got kids going to school in that area, family, I guess, maybe even that lives there as well, well, that certainly hits home for you. We'll find out what they did in just a few moments. And an update to the Mountain Parkway expansion project that I will be glad to report. One that I really kind of knew firsthand that was going to happen, and it's going to make life a little easier getting out of the Magoffin County High School, and we're all for that, right? We'll get to that in just a few moments and a lot of other news and information. I was at the Hornets game last night. I have highlights. Don't know if I'll get to them. I'll explain why when we begin the program right after a word or two. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Bill Mead, and I've dedicated over half of my life to law enforcement and protecting my community and family. In my 29 years of service, I've received several federal accommodations for my part in major drug cases. I have 17 years experience in narcotics investigations. 10 of those years as a sergeant with the Kentucky State Police Drug Enforcement Special Investigations East Unit. I've received the highest level of training in criminal investigations, and I know exactly what it takes to successfully see a criminal case through the state and federal court systems. As your Magoffin County Sheriff, I will review every investigation and ensure that you're treated with respect and dignity. My name is William Bill Mead, number 3 on the ballot, but number 1 for Magoffin County. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI or other criminal charges. You can file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Syersville at 349-4522 and West Liberty at 743-1965.
Get the max with your taxes and a new car at Gateway Motors. All you have to do is take your W-2 to Borders Tax Services here in Syersville and then go straight to buy your new ride at Gateway. You'll get your taxes done right, on time, and with the maximum refund, and you can drive your new vehicle today and pay for it when you get your tax return back from Uncle Sam. So call now to get the max for your taxes at Gateway Motors in Syersville, 349 cars. Winter's certainly not over, but does it matter what season it is? You always need to drive safe, and you can always drive safe and save at Conley Tire in Staffordsville. 6 months, no interest on any new set of tires that you want to pick up. Thousands in stock every day. Rebates from the greatest manufacturers and over 30 years of service to this community. Conley Tire in Staffordsville. Like our 100% safe and secure mobile banking app at Syersville National, we're always working to make your life a little easier. And our mobile deposit feature gives you more freedom and more time to do what you love the most. Just open the app, confirm the amount, and click. You're done. A safe, no-hassle way to manage your money from anywhere in the... Well, you get the drift. Now get the app at Syersville National Bank, 349-3131. Go ahead and begin with 2 of our top stories tonight. And it all began around 1 o'clock in the morning last night. For myself, it began actually after burning on a little midnight oil here at the studio. I was leaving and walking out the door right at 1 o'clock when tones started to ring out and summoned the Magoffin County Rescue Squad after Magoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Tipton had come upon a single vehicle auto accident. That accident actually involved a vehicle that he was turning on and trying to stop. Now, that accident also involved later the capture of the driver and the largest seizure of crystal meth, ice, if you will, in Magoffin County's history. There were 2 arrests made. It was a long, cold, wet night for one man who decided to try to elude authorities in the icy waters, and that's where we'll go to the scene right now. The end result, like I said, what I believe to be the largest meth seizure in McGoffin County's history. It surpasses one that netted 116 grams, I think it was, that I reported, discovered during a traffic stop by Trooper Zach Haney, who was involved in last night's investigation. Also, Sheriff's Deputy Brian Tipton and Sagersville Police Department Officer Mike Nichols. They last summer netted that 116 grams or so with an arrest of two Webbs, a Lily and a Michael Webb, if I'm not mistaken. Last night's numbers surpassed that. Last night's record-setting drug bust actually began with McGoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Tipton trying to stop an SUV on Gun Creek near Meat Skin Road for driving on the roadway with its off-road lights on. Deputy Tipton told me that he met a white Chevy Tahoe with two LED light bars turned on, and when he turned around on the vehicle and when he caught up to the vehicle, well, this is how and where he found it. The driver had lost control of the SUV. It went up on the hillside and then overturned, landing on its top, blocking the roadway. Deputy Tipton also said that he saw the male driver running away just as he pulled up to the scene, and that after Tipton checked to see if anyone else was hurt or involved, he found a female inside, and by that time, the driver was nowhere to be found. EMS and the McGoffin County Rescue Squad were called, as was backup, to begin a search for the driver. And when Deputy Tipton asked the woman who the driver was, she gave him a false name, we would later learn. We learned that after a couple of hours of searching for the driver paid off. As Kentucky State Police Trooper Zach Haney pulled into the Royalton area, he saw someone standing on a porch, and by the time he pulled into the driveway, that person was gone. And the homeowner came out and confirmed that someone unknown had been at the door just seconds before he walked up. Trooper Haney then found where the suspect had followed the trail into the downtown Royalton area and then had got into the frigid creek and water to try to get away. Trooper Dustin Thompson then arrived, and as they were awaiting the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department K-9 unit, anywhere from about 1.5 to 2 hours after the crash, we all heard a resident nearby yell, "He's over here." And, still in the water and having to be very close to hypothermia, we found the suspect, whose identity was later confirmed to be a Kenneth Hayden of Pikeville. And after pulling him from the water, he was also found to be in possession of a black canvas bag, and in that bag, 145 grams of meth or ice, 15 grams of cocaine, and just $3 shy of $6,000 in cash. And in all, between the truck and on his person, there were 2 loaded handguns found, a set of scales, dozens and dozens of empty baggies, drug paraphernalia, and more. Authorities believing that they interrupted the sale of drugs either as it was getting ready to start or before the next drop was to be made. As a result, 30-year-old Kenneth L. Hayden of Blue River was charged with a variety of charges, including the execution of several outstanding warrants in his name. 2 counts of trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree for the meth and the cocaine, being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun, possession of drug paraphernalia, fleeing or evading police in a vehicle, fleeing or evading police on foot, driving on a suspended license, leaving the scene of an accident with failure to render aid. Another count of fleeing or evading authorities on foot in the second degree, resisting arrest, menacing, disorderly conduct. Another fleeing or evading police on foot charge. He was also served with other charges as well. In all, burglary in the third, theft by unlawful taking over $500, glaring headlights, failure to produce insurance, failure to appear, a flagrant non-support violation and warrant, a parole violation arrest warrant as well, and was lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, where he still is, of course, at this hour. The passenger, the female, was identified as 26-year-old Elizabeth Rivers. Rivers is from Boone's Camp. Right now, she faces a single count of hindering prosecution or apprehension, while the entire case remains under investigation. And in another meth-related case, and going on simultaneously as that investigation, was the arrest in Sagersville of these two men. Sagersville police officer Mike Nichols made a traffic stop on a vehicle for the rear license plate not being illuminated as required by law, and upon approaching the driver, his citation indicates that the driver appeared nervous, claimed to have had a tooth pulled recently, but after being questioned and after a search of the vehicle, he found a bag attached to a magnet, that magnet holding the bag against the rear of the cab of the pickup truck to which it was discovered. But nevertheless, in all, he found about 2 grams of methamphetamine, 2 sets of scales, a meth pipe, and some other items. 2 individuals. Joseph Bray was charged with possession of a controlled substance in the first for the meth, driving under the influence, and possession of drug paraphernalia. His passenger, Christopher Henry, was charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance in the first for meth and an unspecified drug, trafficking in the first for the meth, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Both men are from around the Pike County area. Bray is 33 and from Grethel. Henry is 31 and from Belfry.
And going back to the initial same time, just to kind of let you know how the operation works, so to speak, or the process, I did ask to speak with troopers on scene last night. They, of course, have to clear that with their superiors, and standard operating procedure is that they refer myself, that being the superiors, to the public informations officer the following day, and time did not allow for that. So more often than not, it's not a case of my not trying to do an interview with someone so they can do a little more of the talking than I, but that's just the logistics of how the process works. But we do want to, of course, mention that Dustin Thompson, as well as Trooper Zach Haney, as well as Sheriff's Department Deputy Brian Tipton, were all the officers on scene last night with that bust, and that investigation is indeed ongoing. With that, a brief break, more news after that.
To all of her current and future patients, Hope Family Medical Center and Big Sandy Healthcare are proud to announce that pediatrician Dr. Leslie Ann Dotson has joined Big Sandy Healthcare's new Physicians for Women and Families complex in Oxshire, where she's now a part of a team of 3 OBGYNs, 2 family medicine physicians, and their nurse practitioners. That's Physicians for Women and Families, open Monday through Friday at 23 Willow Drive in Oxshire, a part of the Big Sandy Healthcare family.
I certainly hope I don't have to remind everyone that tomorrow is indeed Valentine's Day, nor the fact that you can find something for every sweetheart at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Candy, gifts, and more like you see here. Certainly something for all the special ladies in your life, and gents too, and the young ones as well. And they can also custom design, and you can still get in on it, special Valentine's Day baskets and arrangements, just like the one that we gave away with the Sagersville Independent. I saw it today. Anyone would love to have it, and they'd love to have you tomorrow before Valentine's Day's over at the seasonal shop.
A new inventory perfect for the season at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Gas and electric space heaters, chainsaws to make your own heat, battery chargers, generators, snow blowers, and everything you need for the winter. And of course, jewelry, guns, games, TVs, electronics, and more. And of course, they'll loan you cash on anything worth $1 at Parkway Gun and Pawn. 349 Pawn.
Appalachian Wireless is showing the love to customers for the entire month of February. All month long, we've got 50 to 100% off retail pricing on today's hottest smartphones. Samsung GS8 retail price over $700. On sale now for $74.99. Samsung GS8 Plus retail price over $800. On sale now for only $174.99. All smartphones are included. Just another reason to be a part of the region's best network. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless and East Kentucky Network Company. 2-year agreement required. Excludes Advantage plans while supplies last. See store for details.
The flu has now reached epidemic proportions, and if you aren't or haven't been sick, odds are you will be. And Parkway Pharmacy has exactly what we all need to fight it and any other cold or illness. From immune boosters for adults and children as young as 2 to all-natural homeopathics made right here in the United States of America. They can help prevent you from getting sick or get you fast relief if you already are. With great tasting and easy-taking gummies, powdered mixes, rapid melting fruity tablets, and syrups at Parkway Pharmacy. Another drug-related story for you this evening, this one coming out of Moorhead and from the Round County Sheriff's Department. Here's what I know at this hour, that they were investigating a case into, of all things, a ring distributing narcotic cough syrup. Well, they found much more than that when they served a warrant at a Moorhead residence, over $100,000 in illegal drugs. They have made 5 arrests thus far, possibly more pending, and more than just the cough syrup was found. Several pounds of medical-grade marijuana as well.
The Morehead News is reporting today that a tip from a Morehead Police Department officer to the Sheriff's Department started the whole search and seizure. Soon after that tip, an undercover informant started buying liquid codeine, a prescription narcotic cough syrup, from a residence and apartment on Christian Street. And that's where the warrant was executed. And when they did, they found codeine, the 10 pounds or more of medical marijuana that they thought had been shipped via the mail, a pound at a time. Over 1,000 pills believed to be Xanax, thousands of dollars in cash, and there were also 3 handguns that were found as well, which will contribute to more intensified charges. The medical marijuana believed to have been mailed from California, sold in several different forms, wax and oil and others, and altogether 5 were arrested on scene, including 3 Saudi Arabian students at Morehead State University, 25, 28, and 23 years of age. There were also 2 other individuals, Kentuckians, arrested, Jonathan Ray Garrison, 24, and 25-year-old Tobias Jackson as well, all facing charges of trafficking in marijuana over 5 pounds, all subject to more charges. The marijuana, being a medical grade, as I have learned per their report, sells for much more than regular marijuana, and in fact sells for anywhere at $9,000 a pound when broken down into small increments. $2,600 a pound if it's sold in bulk, 5 pounds or more. $2,600 a pound would be equivalent of 1 pound, if you will, of regular marijuana sold in small increments. So if you look at it that way, $9,000 versus $3,000 per pound, roughly. The investigation still continues.
I've still got some more local news right now. Let's get caught up on tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. Had to skip the calendar last night, so that means I've got to back up and hit a birthday, and now a few, with some other announcements brought to you again by our friends at McGoffin Farm Bureau.
Yes, a birthday I had for yesterday, so now a belated birthday wish nonetheless to Cody Salyer. A whole lot of love and best wishes on a 21st birthday from a whole lot of family and friends with a lot of love, Cody Salyer. Happy 21st birthday to you. A couple of little birthdays tonight, going out to Hunter Ray Phipps yesterday, Braxton Eric Phipps today on the 13th, and from a lot of family and friends to you. North McGoffin's Site-Based Council has a regular session meeting on Valentine tomorrow, the 14th, 4:30 in the school's conference room. Everyone's invited to attend. And a few announcements for a few days from now. So your invitation right now to use our calendar anytime you have a special announcement for your church group or organization or nonprofit. And, of course, birthdays or anniversaries you want to pass along as well. Turning to funeral service announcements provided by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, we have listings tonight, beginning with those for Tracy Michelle Howard, 42, of Sandy Hook, who passed away on the 9th, the daughter of Hazel Collins and the late Fonzie Howard. Besides her mother, she's survived by daughters Rena Puckett, Haley Simpkins, and Byrie Lewis. Also a son, Braden Lewis, and her companion, Timmy. Visitation continues this evening, and services will be held tomorrow at 1 at the Bethlehem to Calvary Church. Phyllis Rose Reisner Long, 51, of Lexington, passed away on the 11th, the daughter of Ernie Reisner and the late Anna Faye Gibson. Besides her father, she survived by son Daniel Perkins and daughters Lena Faye Jordan and Lily Mae Honeycutt. Visitation is this evening and prior to tomorrow's services at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. And we have a few listings concerning a few joint services to be held in Paintsville this week. Joint services will be held this Thursday for Arlene Burkett Nickel and her husband James Wayne, both of whom passed away on Saturday the 10th. Visitation is tomorrow noon until 8. Services will be Thursday morning at 11 from the Toms Creek Free Will Baptist Church. Burial follows at the Highland Memorial Cemetery. And joint services are also going to be held in Paintsville on Thursday for Patricia Van Hoos, 57, her daughter, 40-year-old Lindsay Van Hoos as well, both of whom passed away on the same date. Patricia survived by a son, Jody McKenzie, and a daughter, Tricia Jackson. Lindsay is survived by a son, Ethan Meek, and daughters, Alexandria Faith Fairchild and Jocelyn Meek. Visitation will be at the Hager Hill Free Will Baptist Church on Wednesday and prior to services Thursday at 1. Burial will be at the Kumbo Cemetery at West Van Leer, while the Preston Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements.
My dad, Philip Chubb Allen, was an appliance repairman who many of you knew. He instilled in me the values of honesty and integrity and to always keep your word. I'm running for change. I'm running for a brighter future for our children. I'm asking for your help. This election is one of the most important in our history. No matter which part of the county you're from, I'm your candidate. Let all of our citizens' voices be heard from every holler and every hilltop and every corner of our beautiful home. My name is Big Tony Allen, and I want to be your Magoffin County Court Clerk.
We are all human. Because we're not perfect, we tend to make mistakes. Unfortunately, some mistakes are severe and carry more consequences than others. If you have been hurt in a car wreck, a truck wreck, or because of someone's mistake, reckless or careless behavior, you deserve help with your medical expenses, lost wages, and serious permanent pain and injuries that you have been made to suffer and will continue to suffer for the rest of your life. If you have been injured, I can help. I'm attorney Don Wayne McFarland. Call me and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Much more than diesel specialist, Black Smoke Performance is turning out excellent auto body collision paint and repair results with free quotes and estimates on everything from insurance jobs to that ding you got in the driveway. Custom lift kits, bed liners, winches, and accessories, and full diagnostics and repair on anything gas or diesel, from brakes to fluid changes to major auto repair. If you want it fixed, lifted, painted, customized, or just maintained, just call on the team at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville, 100 May Drive, or 349-8785. Yes, Logan makes the best truck bodies on the market, and they also have a fully stocked warehouse of dump body parts, PTOs, hydraulic pumps, hoists, anything you need to get back on the road. And they are a full-service steel and aluminum service center. They keep I-beam, channel, angle, pipe, round rod, rebar, expanded metal, sheet metal, and aluminum all in stock. And if you've got a big project, they do commercial manufacturing to your specs. Logan, since 1904. My own personal assessment of the Restaurant Row project is that it's going to make life a lot easier, not just for through motorists, but for us locally as well, because we're not going to have to get intertwined or intermingled into all that through traffic quite so much. I hope it works out. That's at least my summation of it. A portion of that is going to be a new addition to the Mountain Parkway expansion project, which is adding a new connector. This one, I'm glad to report to anyone on parent pickup or who has a student or as a staff member exiting the school, a new connection for the new Magoffin County High School. Yeah, anybody pulling out of the Magoffin County High School will have another connection to the Mountain Parkway when the project is completed. After continued conversations with local leaders and school officials who I think had a lot to do with seeing this happen, engineers and designers added a new access point. If you look at the graph here, or the depiction, and towards the center of it, you see, I think I've blown that up so much that the text is a little bit blurry, but you'll see the kind of the arrow pointing up towards it. Well, the actual intersection over here that the high school will use is over to the left, and that is where all the buses will have to come out of the school parking lot, take a left, and go to that red light there, which is across from the BP. But if those are going all those buses that are going towards the direction of Burning Fork, well, they will not have to do so. They will simply have their own lane that will carry on to the right and then merge onto the parkway, and that will eliminate, I'm not going to say half, I don't know how many of the school buses actually go that direction versus all of those that pull out of the county. I'm sure it's not half, but a significant number nonetheless that will not have to go through that light, and certainly will make a big difference. Once the Restaurant Row project is finished late next year, that's when they tell me it's going to be done, vehicles will access the high school using a frontage road being built between the school and the 4-lane parkway, and vehicles traveling west from the school can enter the parkway at intersections intersections along that local access road. And then vehicles traveling east will be able to use that new entry point. I am so in favor of this, and I think it will certainly make for a much better flow and much safer entry and exit, well, certainly exit for the McGoffin County High School, which we all know right now and until the project is done is an area that you have to be careful while traveling. And that certainly goes for our young people as well. Yes, I did make it to last night's Shelby Valley matchup for the boys. It was a girls' game in the first round. The ladies of McGoffin County hosted Lawrence County. That was a loss for the girls, 48-68. I got there at the tail end of that. I stayed for the entire boys' matchup for Shelby Valley because even though I got there, well, not when I got there, I was there for the beginning. Even though it started off on a sour note for the Hornets, they came back, they held tough, and it was a 2- and 3-point game throughout much of the end. It did come up short to the tune of 65-74 in the final seconds for McGoffin County. I have the whole thing on film. I just, with being out all night last night and not getting into about 4 o'clock this morning, simply didn't have time to get to edit, so my apologies. But that is the end result. Now I'm off to try to catch in the game tonight, or end of the game tonight, where the boys are hosting Prestonsburg. This is the last home game, the last game of the regular season for the boys. It was also senior night tonight for the boys basketball players and for the sole senior dance team member, Mackenzie Castle. The Lady Hornets next in action, hosting Betsy Lane this Thursday and Floyd County this Friday. One of those nights, and I think it is Thursday, is senior night for the Lady Hornets and for band members. Don't hold me on that Thursday, but it's definitely one of the two, obviously. It's the last 2 games of the regular season for the Lady Hornets. Lastly, before I leave you tonight, here's your weather forecast. We've still got some interesting temperature swings and some not so swinging that much, as we have temperatures kind of staying or standing pat when you look at the end result. We're still going to see, however, some warm air to the tune of, just double checking, we have 71 still expected for your Thursday. Yeah, definitely a couple of odd days ahead. 47 for tonight's nighttime low. Cloudy skies, scattered sprinkles between midnight and 11. Maybe some scattered showers. We're talking a 30% likelihood or chance of tonight. Not a big maker. Showers, though, for the next couple of days along with all of this warm air. And look what temperatures. We talked about this last night. Still looking at this scenario. For your Wednesday, tomorrow, showers mainly after 7 in the morning. And we'll bump up to about 58 degrees for the daytime high. Winds out of the southwest, maybe 5 to 10. Now, those temperatures, of course, as the day and evening arrives, will start to fall. But then, as showers are still likely up until, well, and through the overnight, temperatures will start to rise to about 60 by 3 a.m. with still a southwest wind, maybe gusting upwards of 10 to 15 miles per hour. For your Thursday, the same rain chances are in town, and the same, well, nearly the same temperature scenario, not quite as dramatic, but 71 for daytime highs. Nighttime lows on your Thursday around 57. That's hard to call a low, but that's what we're looking at. With this scenario and with this system, we're going to see the winds much more predominant Thursday. During the day, gusts of 17. Thursday night, maybe 25 mile per hour gusts as well. Rainfall amounts at the bottom of your screen. Tomorrow, anywhere from a half to a 1.5 inch total for all of Wednesday. Thursday, on the lighter side, anywhere from a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch total of rain. More showers rounding out the work week. A wet one on your Friday, and I mean a wet one, 100% likelihood, 100% Friday. Showers, 61 degrees. Nighttime lows will get close to freezing. Slight chance of some rain or snow showers to start off Saturday, and then getting above freezing to a cooler 46 degrees. Clouds, flakes, and a few sprinkles, a few drops on your Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny skies, 56 degrees. Precipitation chances, even though they are not in the picture during the day Sunday, are rolling back into town Sunday night. And another wet makeup Monday night, rain into your Tuesday as well. Pick a rainy part of the nation. That's what it's going to feel like here in Kentucky and has felt like now for some time. Right on through the forecast. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. I think you know the drill by now. More news that you're only going to see here, and you just never know what that is. But tune in and find out tomorrow. For now, thank you for watching, and have a good night.